In the Star Trek science fiction series, Christopher Pike is a fictional character. He is the quick ancestor to James T. Kirk as commander of the starship U.S. Venture. Pike first made an appearance as the main character in the original, unaired Star Trek pilot episode. The first series, The Enclosure, depicted by Jeffrey Tracker. Hunter left the show after this pilot was rejected, and Kirk took on the role of Pike. In the two-part story, The Menagerie, which a lot of archive footage from The Cage was used, the series later established Pike as Kirk's predecessor. Sean Kenny played an elderly, scarred, and disabled fleet captain Pike in the opening story. Bruce Greenwood plays a version of Pike in the films Star Trek 2009 and Star Trek Into Darkness 2013, which take place in a different time period and feature Kirk as a young mentor. Christopher Pike is a principal character in the second time of Star Journey. Anson Mount plays Discovery, which will air in 2019, set quite a long while later, The Enclosure. The show has Chief Pike expect transitory order of the U.S. Revelation. The series Star Trip, Pike's time as captain of the U.S. Enterprise is the focus of the Discovery spin-off Strange New Worlds 2022, in which Mount reprises his role. Toward the start of The Enclosure, set in the year 2254, Pike and his group are recovering from a mission to Rigel VII, during which a few individuals from the arrival party were killed by the occupants. Pike feels so guilty about the incident that he is considering quitting his job. In the meantime, the undertaking is on the way to Vega State to drop off injured team individuals when it gets a pain call from the overview vessel SS Columbia, lost 18 years beforehand. Pike at first will not examine, referring to that the harmed group individuals take need. He orders the ship to be diverted to Talos IV to rescue survivors when he receives a condensed follow-up message. Pike quickly discovers that the Talosians created illusions of all but one of the survivors in order to lure the Enterprise crew to Talos IV. Using Vina, the only real Columbia survivor, as the object of desire, the Talosians make every effort to provide fantasies that they hope will pique Pike's interest. After Pike escapes from his jail cell with the guide of his most memorable official, Number 1, and Human J.M. Yearling, the Talosians uncover, to Pike, Vina's genuine appearance as a deformed, more seasoned lady. After the Columbia crashed, the Talosians saved her life, but they didn't know how to fix a human body. Pike demands that the Talosians reestablish her deception of excellence, and the undertaking leaves Talos IV. Article title: Star Trek The Menagerie, the first series. Eventually preceding the two-section episode The Zoo, set in the year 2267, Pike is elevated to Armada skipper. He is seriously harmed while saving a few recruits from a puzzle plate crack on board a J-class preparing vessel, the Delta beam radiation leaving him incapacitated, unfit to talk, gravely scarred, and utilizing a brainwave-worked wheelchair for portability. His main method for imparting is through a light on the seat. 2 flashes indicate no and 1 flash indicates yes. The Enterprise, now under Captain James T. Kirk's command, travels to Starbase 11 in the Menagerie. Despite the fact that traveling to Talos IV is the only crime that is still punishable by death in Starfleet, Spock, who had served with Pike for 11 years, 4 months, and 5 days, makes cover arrangements to take Pike back to Talos IV. Spock goes through court military with his proof introduced during the preliminary being filmed from The Enclosure. It is revealed at the conclusion of the 2-part episode that the entire process was an illusion created by Talosian to ensure that the Enterprise reached Talos. The Talosians welcome Skipper Pike to spend the rest of his life among them, unbound by his normal body, which was the whole reason for Spock's activities. Spock, who has been cleared of all charges, takes Pike away after he accepts the offer. In a subsequent scene from The Cage, the Talosians show Captain Kirk a picture of Pike in perfect health, reunited